Hello, I'm Zekaryah Chase, and I'm a storyteller. Born and raised from Roanoke, Virginia, my mom has always kept me and my younger siblings within public libraries. You know, some kids go there to play on their phones or play their computers, but she really made sure that we got into the books. And it's not like she just forced us to. I enjoyed reading. I read fiction, mythology, a little romance. You know what I'm saying? I read it all, and I enjoyed it, every single bit of it.
We kept books. He read a lot. I could say that he read a lot, and maybe that's one of the influences in him becoming a storyteller.
Within a book, flipping page to page, analyzing every word, reading it, enjoying it, the whole thrill of the ride, it made me want to create my own stories as well. So I started daydreaming. However, I would only keep them to myself. I wouldn't tell anybody else. But eventually, my little brother Victor came along, and he actually influenced me to start storytelling. As me and Vic grew up together, he had to face many surgeries because he was born with the condition pure event. And I remember those waiting rooms where, me and my family would just hope each surgery that goes by would be the last. And I never felt right sitting in the waiting room, just letting him fight his own battles. I was more irritated because I couldn't do anything as his older brother except provide some confidence. And that's what I did. I gave him some bedtime stories.
That told me stories that had action, drama, adventures.
I started telling him bedtime stories, just to let the time go by, let the motivation kick in for him. And it started working. I would tell these bedtime stories over time, and I could see through his eyes that he was a little more confident. He was a little less anxious. He wasn't as worried about the outcome of a lot of these surgeries.
It inspired him. The stories that he told was, always kept Victor wanting more. And because of that, he wanted to spend more time with Zach.
Eventually, these bedtime stories were being told beyond the night. It would also be told during the day, whether we were in the car, at school, and especially right before his surgeries. Eventually, as time passed, my mom would overhear me talking about these stories and telling him. And she gave the good idea of, why not write them down? Why not just have these stories stored up for in the future, to where you can come back and look at it and see your cool and great and weird, your weird ideas.
We were traveling a lot to take our youngest son for health reasons, whether it was surgeries or, where we would end up having to be on the road quite often. And we noticed him telling these stories to the other kids in the car, and it would be silent.
Eventually, sometime down the line, Victor thought of this cool idea of how my stories could be placed visually on a screen for others to see. He was like, oh, it would be cool for it to be turned into a movie or a show or even an anime.
I would love to see animated films and shows because it would fit the tone of that stories more than live action.
Eventually, his dream became my own, and I started taking the steps towards that. I would then begin to script write these ideas I had, not just writing them down, but I would actually try to make sure they're formatted correctly into how actual scripts are made. And then I started taking a TV video course in high school, which in this course, it showed me how to edit, showed me how to make films, put it all together, news gathering. The class was amazing. Shout out to my teacher, Miss McLeod. And then eventually, I competed and placed in Virginia statewide film competitions, both second and third. Although looking at the bigger picture, I do look forward to the day where I can make Vic proud, just as much as he made me proud. Going into these surgeries, faced with the fear, faced with the possibilities of worse, he went in head first and ready to take it on. So I'm proud of him to this day, and I just hope that with these stories that I make, not only do I make him proud, but many more as well. I'm Zekaryah Chase. I'm not just a brother. I'm not just a motivator. I'm a storyteller.